I have a very deep frustration with African entrepreneurs, in particular, young entrepreneurs, because we were never taught these things. I understand we were never taught about positioning, about momentum, about leverage. And so our instinct is always to grab cash quickly. Our instinct is always to protect attention that we haven't earned, to protect value that we haven't demonstrated in the marketplace. And so we end up not being as good, as big, going as far as we could because we're too quick to turn the relationships into transactions. What is up, you guys? Sage here. I am CEO, founder of Legacy Africa. If you're a company in PE that is looking to scale your business without the headache, please contact Legacy Africa. The link is in the description box down below. Getting into today's topic. So I'm someone who has very quickly gone from obscurity, no one land, like no man's land, to being recognized and validated in the marketplace, rubbing shoulders with some of the titans in our little pond over here. A very recognizable name in certain spaces. I have people on my Rolodex, on my immediate contact list, on speed dial that would shock a lot of people and that I probably shouldn't have. Why does that happen? It happens because of the skills that I've built up over exposing myself to situations that I wouldn't otherwise have had the opportunity to be exposed to unless I provided value first. And so, whether it's from a leadership perspective to my team, whether it's from a client client provider relationship that I have with my clients, I'm always a value first type of person. I will prove my value in the marketplace. Prove your worth through your works, not your words. And people will rush. Like, there's a whole script, but there's so much passion, and I want you guys to feel me before you I get into the technical stuff. Um, People will be in a rush to grab 1,000 rand here, 2,000 rand there for a speaking engagement instead of not putting a paywall up there. And I'm now in a position where I can say, I have a contract with CTU. I've spoken at Emirates. I've spoken at Egivos. I've had engagements with NMU. I've been to Zoom Investments. I've been in the Nelson Mandela Business Chamber for multiple events. Through and all these things happen. Like, I'm genuinely on a generational run. Very, very rarely do you see in whatever community, African, freaking colored, white, like Chinese, I don't care where you're from. Very, very rarely do you see such a generational run. And the reason why that becomes possible is by providing value first. And then when you've proven your value to the marketplace, anytime you engage thereafter, the value will be perceived already. Why? Because you have the stamps from the different institutions. You have the connections, you have the leverage. And so by the time you're charging, you can charge egregious amounts of money for providing value that people know has to be there and is proven to be there, is validated to be there by the brands that they trust. That trust rubs off on you. But no, that doesn't happen for you, because as soon as I approach you and I let you know about an opportunity, you're asking about money. And if all you focus on is like, greats focus on value, the value that they can provide, and people who don't become great focus on transactions. They focus on money too quickly. I'm not saying cheapen yourself forever. I'm not saying don't show up for yourself. Don't take the opportunities to monetize when they do come. But I'm saying, if you can not put the money first for long enough, then you can engage the marketplace from a different place of leverage, where people feel that they're getting a deal out of whatever egregious amount you may charge. And that's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is, if you can position yourself well enough, you can actually charge way more than you could have in the beginning, because people don't have to, you don't have to sell people. People will come to you and buy. In any case, okay, getting into this thing, no one ever told us about momentum, positioning, credibility, market validation. So what ends up happening is we go and try and grab money quickly. And so we're too quick to charge, protect access, put up paywalls to demand payment for value that we haven't proven in the marketplace yet. Um, and that's an issue because sometimes the momentum is worth more than the money. I feel like that's very important to touch on. Sometimes it's going to be worth more to you to have this relationship and say that you have done this for this person than it would be to grab the money in the situation. So you provide the value, you leave a positive taste in that person's mouth. A positive relationship is a mustard seed is planted. A positive relationship is built. You've established yourself, and you're beginning to get the ball rolling now. You're beginning to get that engagement with the marketplace. That right there can be worth a lot. So, for example, you form a certain relationship, you speak at a certain place, you connect with certain individuals, like you just go into environments and provide value. The fact that you are known for that instead of the, again, the 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 you could have collected on that generational run, you instead form great relationships along that way, and you can charge 100,000 for one engagement at the end of the year. So very realistically, based on the way that you engage, you can actually receive more value from the marketplace by not approaching it with an extraction type of mindset, because the momentum is worth more than the cash deal ever could be. That's where people get it wrong. That's where people don't understand, is that especially when you're new, you're going to make mistakes because you are competent, you are brilliant, you put your best foot forward, you try your best, and yes, you do achieve, you do win. Of course, you have to get the results at the end of the day, but you don't know what you're doing and you're figuring it out. You're building the plane as you're flying it. And when you have approached the situations with humility, when you have approached the situations with, listen, I'm valuable, I know I'm valuable, you know I'm valuable, but I'll just show up in this situation and I'll do my best. There's a certain level of grace that you're afforded as well, where you cannot be perfect. You can come in, be an 8 and 9 out of 10, and no one has any questions about the 2 or 1 that was left on the table, versus if you came in and you try and charge egregious amounts, then you'll be scrutinized. You'll be looked at from a completely different lens, and that's the lens of, oh, this person has to know what they're doing because they're charging me this much. Versus you can charge even more than that when you do know what you're doing, like very realistically. So I think it benefits like everyone involved if you can keep your head down, continue to learn, continue to put yourself out there. Yes, make the engagements, make the money. Don't get me wrong. Yes, the ultimate thing is going to be, can you convert attention into monetization, because that's what allows you, and that's what fuels the beast and allows you to do even bigger things with even bigger people and position yourself even further, right? Is that these things don't happen for free. They take money. Traveling costs money, engaging costs money, like a lot of the processes and the systems behind the thing uh, that cost money. So it's good to engage with that whenever you can. But I feel that the most important thing, perhaps the most important thing, is going to be your ability to connect, is going to be your ability to position, because that's what allows you to play the game longer. That's what allows you to play the game better. The point in the beginning is not monetization. The point in the beginning is proof, positioning, association, reputation, leverage, and momentum. Momentum is the cousin of compounding. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. And the cool thing is that momentum compounds, meaning work begets work, success begets success, and when it rains, it will ultimately pour for you. But you have to be value first in order for that to be unlocked, in order for those opportunities to present themselves and you to be able to capture them. You have to understand that work begets work. Um, we'll touch on the rest of the demonetization a bit later, because the realization that you'll have is people don't understand that being associated with high performance environments changes your perceived value massively. When the institutions recognize you, respected people validate you, strong brands trust you, important rooms invite you, then the marketplace will treat you differently. It will start to trust you faster, and that's the thing that compounds. But instead, people think too transactionally and think, well, how much am I getting paid for this? Instead of asking that, what does this position, what does this opportunity position me to become? That's a completely different mindset. That's a completely different state of being. That's a completely different approach to the game. Instead of thinking, okay, what could I charge here real quick? How can I make a quick buck? Think, oh, who am I? Like, who have I been historically? Who does this opportunity allow me to be in addition to everything that I am currently? When you ask yourself those types of things, then you begin to get the ability to make more long-term plays. You begin to think to yourself, oh, wait. This could actually be the missing piece that I need to be considered a X instead of just a Y. We need to think longer term, people. We can't just be thinking about the quick cash grab. So the big teachable thing is that sometimes the relationship, the exposure, the credibility, the execution experience. That's the crazy thing, is that sometimes, like I said, we're building the plane while we're flying it, and the experience itself would be invaluable for us in the long term to say that I have done such a thing. Instead, people will put money up and block themselves from their blessings because they just wanted to make a quick buck. They just wanted to grab cash really quickly. Right? You put up a paywall. And then I'm just like, well, I'll just not engage with you because you're trying to extract value from the marketplace. I wanna be with givers because I'm a giver, and givers tend to want to be with other givers. That's the secret. The secret that they don't tell you about the winner's circle is when you enter those rooms, look for the person who's trying to extract value, and you'll find the person that is out of place. You'll find the lowest person on the rung, the person who doesn't really belong in that room. And belonging in that room is not about possession. Belonging in that room is about identity, who you identify yourself as. And if you identify yourself as a taker, you're not going to belong in a room of givers. And the givers tend to be at the top of the hierarchy, because if we are going to select a leader, who do you think we're going to want to lead us? The person who's always trying to extract the most out of us, or the person who's trying to give and provide the most value? That's who we're going to give the power. Because I know if I put so and so in power, he's going to take care of me. He's going to take care of all of us, because that's what he does. He gives. Very, very important things to consider. Very important. And so for me, right now, part of the momentum that keeps compounding is I keep showing up. Part of the reason the momentum keeps building, the generational run keeps running, it's the part of the reason why it's one foot after the other is because I just keep showing up, and I keep providing value. I keep delivering. And because I show up, I provide value, I deliver, the one person sees it, the next person sees it, the next person sees it, and they all see me delivering in all these different spaces. And so it's okay. So it's not me. I'm not crazy when I see that this dude is just different. This dude is special, and he's doing something right now. I can't be crazy because he also did the same thing over here and over there and over there and over there and over there, which means we all gave him an opportunity, which means we all see what this guy could be. Let me give it to him. Let me give it to him one more time. Let me give him another one. Let me give him as many shots as he wants on goal, because when he scores and he becomes, we know he's going to pay it forward, because that's the reputation that he's built as a professional. So people see the institutions, the events, the engagements, speaking opportunities, the partnerships, and because of that, more opportunities come, and the momentum compounds publicly. And that's when you become undeniable. That's when doors open doors, which open doors, which is what's happening now. And I'm really at the point right now where I tell people, hurry up and book me, hurry up and make this engagement, hurry up and just become a client. Like, do yourself that favor, because very, very soon I'm gonna have no choice but to charge egregious amounts, because my time is just not going to be worth engaging at like lower than a certain price point. It's just not going to make sense for me. Like, I'm already at a point where I just don't take certain engagements, not because I don't want to help people, not because my heart's not in it. Like, I see what you can do, and I have free offerings on Legacy Africa, and those things I hope to keep free for the rest of eternity. But then there are certain stages and certain engagements that I can't do lower than a certain price point. I would love to. I cannot responsibly do so. My team is depending on me. I cannot responsibly do so. Um, the like there are people who give me opportunities who have big hopes for me, and so I carry that responsibility even within the engagements that I make. That, oh wait, I can't. The cost of opportunity of me spending this time here, and where I could be spending it somewhere else, and in improving on that momentum, increasing that perceived value. I can't be spending that time doing this for such little. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things that happens over time. But you never get to that spot. You never get to that place where there's so much demand for you, for your time, for what you have going on, unless you provide value first. Or at least that's what's worked for me. That's the blueprint that I followed to get here, and that's my story. This is as far as I'm concerned. And so, ironically, by obsessing and squeezing money from every opportunity, you block yourself. By not obsessing over squeezing money from every opportunity, you become value enough to charge far more later in the thing that actually matters, your business. So this is the part that I said I was going to touch on, which is ultimately all this thing you do, like all this publicity, all this engagement, these speaking opportunities, like everything. You do all of that, and initially don't charge for it. Like, go up there, provide value to people, help people out, help people build their businesses, prove your value in the marketplace. Because when you do that, you again increase the demand on your time. When the demand on your time is increased to a certain extent, then you literally have no choice but to start charging, because it just doesn't make sense. It's just like, I'm sorry. And the thing is, if you're not willing to, like, the next person will be willing to pay it. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'd love to go do your free speaking thing on Wednesday, but unfortunately, I'm booked by a paying client on Wednesday, and they want to see me. So I can't responsibly accept. I would love to. I can't responsibly. It becomes that type of a situation, and that's the situation you want to be in, instead of constantly trying to, beg, borrow, steal, in order to actually have your product, whatever it may be, validated in the marketplace. So the real problem is, a lot of people are trying to monetize attention before they've earned it. They're trying to protect value before they've demonstrated it, and they're trying to extract instead of give, and that's a mistake. And so, early on in your career, momentum is currency, credibility is currency, execution is currency, reputation is currency. Who you are is by far worth a whole lot more than how much you stand to make in this moment in time. And so every moment you get that you can go up a rung, every moment you get that you can take a swing, like, go to the place, have nothing happen, like, swing and miss, fail, fall flat on your face, like, run out of money, like, all those things are okay. They're part of the journey. But always make sure that you keep your reputation intact. Always make sure that you execute. Always make sure to under promise, over deliver. These are very, very important things. And if you play the game long enough, correctly, the money eventually comes anyway. But now the difference is it comes with leverage. That's the massive difference that I think people must misunderstand. People don't connect with. People don't realize very early on is the money will come. Comrades, money will come. It's just going to take a lot longer than you think it's going to. But if your intention is always to put your best foot forward, you're willing to outwork, out strategize, and outlast your competition. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but one thing is true: the marketplace will validate you, and you will be able to charge egregious amounts for your time, space, attention, whatever it may be, your skill, your service. And that's ultimately where your value is supposed to be created and made and exchanged. And even within that, the point of the service is whatever you charge for it should be a bargain compared to what the other person gets. That's how you create true value in the marketplace. Deeply frustrates me that we just don't seem to get that, because those aren't wisdoms that are passed down. But I had mentioned earlier in a different context that if the blueprint already existed, you already be seeing it in your life, right? You'd be seeing it around you. Your parents would know, your grandparents would know, your uncles would know, your sisters would know, but they don't. And so, if you are in the fortunate and unfortunate position like I am, where you know these certain things, don't expect people to understand. They won't. If they did, they would have done what had to be done, and life would be different. But it's not, which means it's up to you. And so take the brass ring to places it's never been. Not just win. Yes, win, and then take the bar to places it's never seen, it's never touched. That's your duty. That's who you are. That's what you were made for. That's what you were born for. Entrepreneurs in PE who want to scale, Legacy Africa, link is in the description down below. If you're not an entrepreneur, not a business owner in Port Elizabeth, but you still did in fact enjoy the video, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. It does wonders for my self-esteem. So I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. I've been Sage, standing on business. Signing off.